Bradley Beal is on the move, ladies and gentlemen. The former Washington Wizards all-star guard is going to get traded to the Phoenix Suns for Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, some second-round picks, and multiple pick swaps between Phoenix and Washington. For Phoenix, it gives them a new super team, and for Washington, it gets them off the books for arguably the NBA's worst contract, in which Beal possessed a no-trade clause and already was making over $250 million. The way I look at it is simple. There was a lot of exterior stuff going on with this deal that made it so it could be done. Number one, Bradley Beal's no-trade clause. I mean, we're splitting hairs here. It appears that Washington finally said enough is enough. We're going to move off Bradley Beal and start over again. They gave him this no-trade clause, which I think was an awful move by that franchise because it cornered them into a deal in which pretty much the only player they got to show for it is Landry Shamet. My expectation is Chris Paul is not going to play basketball in Washington, I guess, which means he'll be bought out. So you got Landry Shamet. It can't be that many pick swaps because, just to put in perspective, Phoenix traded a lot of that capital to get KD. So they have not revealed exactly what picks and pick swaps are involved in the trade, but it can't be that darn much. So for Washington, pretty much the only thing that they can claim to fame in this trade is that they got rid of the NBA's worst contract in Beal. We'll see where Chris Paul decides to go and what he wants to do with the remainder of his career. You have that piece going on. Not to mention, happy Father's Day. Bradley Beal's agent, gentleman by the name of Mark Bartenstein. Why do I bring him up? His son, Josh Bartenstein, is the president in Phoenix, meaning pretty much father was able to give son a gift, and I guess you can look at it vice versa. Son was able to give father a gift, getting his client to Phoenix. There's that piece of the puzzle. Also, we could take it up even further, past the president to the owner. Phoenix has a new aggressive owner by the name of Matt Ishbia. Why am I bringing that up? He's an important piece of this deal. You want me to know why? Matt Ishbia comes from his dad's wealth. And what have we typically seen about owners that come from dad's wealth? They play everything like it's NBA 2K. They play a monopoly with the money because they ain't make the money. They're not the generational wealth starter. And we've typically seen those owners to be uber aggressive. And that's why you see Matt Ishbia putting this team together like a game of NBA 2K. Because if we actually get to the on-court stuff, I'm not so sure if this team makes a lot of sense. I'm not mad at them because they hit a lick on Beal and they were able to keep DeAndre Ayton. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to step up in these playoffs and make some big shots. And at some point, chemistry has to matter. Are you telling me with Bradley Beal incorporated on that Phoenix Suns team now, do you really believe that team would have beat the Denver Nuggets? I don't. I would have picked Denver in 7. I'm just being honest with you. I don't think Bradley Beal makes the Phoenix Suns a series better. Now, here's where I'll likely push back on and give Phoenix a little credit. In theory, the Suns should be a much better regular season team than they were last year. They should probably be close to what they were a couple years ago when Chris Paul was healthier, right? Number 1 seed out west. In theory, Phoenix will have a game 7 against Denver, against Golden State, against the Lakers. In theory, they should have that game on their court, which maybe it makes a difference. This team should win a lot of regular season games. Kevin Durant had a multitude of injuries last year. You know, he should be able to get back and be healthy and not overutilize himself in the regular season. Because in theory, Devin Booker and Bradley Beal should be able to win you pretty much every game against the East, the bottom of the East, right? You should be able to win a lot of games with this roster, which maybe does change things. Out the gate, though, I do not see a championship for the new Big Three in Phoenix. A lot of noise, but I don't necessarily think I see a championship in their future. But I can't get mad at them because it was a lick of a deal. You had to take this deal. They clearly had already made the decision to move off of Chris Paul. I get it. I love CP3, but he's always injured in April, May, and June. And that's when you need him the most. It can't be both. This past year, Chris was injured in November, December, and April, May. So it can't be both. Phoenix Suns, they make a move. They acquire Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards. I can't even call it a haul. I mean, they gave up Chris Paul, but they were probably going to waive him anyway. Landry Shamet, second-round picks, and multiple pick swaps heading to D.C. Washington can say, hey, we got rid of the NBA's worst contract. Let me know what your thoughts are on this new Big Three in Phoenix, and from Washington's perspective, trading away their franchise star. I'm out. Welcome to NBA offseason 2023. You're in great hands with Hoops FERRO. There's no network behind me. There's no budget behind me. Just straight grind and hoops talk. If you don't want to miss a beat this offseason from trades, free agent signings, and draft talk, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Let's run these numbers up. It's free $99 to show me that you support the grind. Let's go.